Trust by Hernan Diaz is a Pulitzer Prize-winning novel that explores themes of money, power, narrative, and truth in a richly layered and structurally innovative way. The novel doesn't simply tell a story, it interrogates the very nature of storytelling. Built around 4 distinct texts within the book, each section reinterprets, questions, or outright contradicts the ones that came before. Through this intricate structure, Diaz invites readers not only to follow a plot, but also to reflect on who gets to tell stories, how they're told, and what is omitted in the process. The first section of the novel is a fictional novel within the novel, titled Bonds, set in the early 1930s. It recounts the story of Benjamin Rask, a reclusive and brilliant financier, and his wife Helen, a cultured, intellectual woman whose mental health slowly deteriorates. This narrative mirrors the archetype of the wealthy tycoon and his troubled spouse, a classic American tale of wealth and emotional isolation. At first glance, Bonds appears to be a complete story in itself. However, it soon becomes clear that this is only one version of events, a crafted narrative that will later be challenged and reframed. The second section introduces a partial autobiography written by Andrew Bevel, a man who clearly inspired the character of Benjamin Rask in the first story. Bevel is determined to correct the lies spread by Bonds and present his own version of the truth. In his fragmented manuscript, he attempts to portray himself as a visionary capitalist and a devoted husband to his wife Mildred. However, the autobiography is riddled with missing pages, notes to self, and incomplete thoughts, a testament to Bevel's desire to control his public image, even as he struggles to fully articulate his narrative. This section exposes the manipulative potential of autobiographical storytelling, particularly when wielded by the powerful. In the third section, the story shifts to the perspective of Ida Partenza, a young woman hired by Bevel to ghostwrite his autobiography. Initially detached from the material, Ida soon begins to suspect inconsistencies in Bevel's account and conducts her own investigations. Her growing awareness and agency bring a fresh and critical lens to the earlier narratives. This portion of the novel emphasizes how women's voices have historically been suppressed or sidelined, not only in life but in literature as well. Through Ida, Diaz explores how the telling of history is influenced by who is allowed to speak and who is not. The final section reveals a hidden diary written by Mildred Bevel long after her death. Her voice, previously confined to others' perceptions, now takes center stage. This intimate and introspective narrative dismantles many of the assumptions made in earlier accounts. Mildred, often depicted as fragile or marginal, emerges as a sharp, self-aware, and quietly powerful presence. Her diary reframes the entire novel, offering a deeper understanding of the dynamics of power, gender, and authorship. It is a quietly radical act of reclaiming her voice from the men who tried to speak for her. Trust is more than a period piece or a historical novel. It is a bold meditation on the construction of truth. Diaz masterfully dissects the relationship between narrative and authority, showing how history is written, shaped, and spun, often by those in power. Money, in this novel, is not just economic capital, but narrative capital as well. The wealthy don't just control markets, they control the stories told about them. By breaking the linear form of storytelling and introducing multiple, conflicting perspectives, Trust becomes a postmodern exploration of truth, fiction, and authorship. Each section undermines the previous, one, making the reader question what really happened, and more importantly, who gets to decide what really happened. Diaz doesn't offer easy answers, but instead forces readers into an active role, piecing together fragments and questioning the reliability of each narrator. In the end, Trust is not just a novel about money or love, it's a novel about the power of narrative itself. It asks, should we place our trust in the storyteller, the story, or in our own ability to question everything we're told? By raising these questions, Diaz delivers a literary experience that is as intellectually provocative as it is emotionally resonant,